Horizon Call of the Mountain PC release date, what to know. Horizon Call of the Mountain is set to release on February 22, 2023 as a launch title for the PSVR2. Horizon Call of the Mountain will be available exclusively for the PS5. While I wouldn't rule out a PC release, it's likely that Sony wants to keep this title exclusive until it gets enough sales of the PSVR2. Gameplay. Horizon Call of the Mountain is an action-adventure video game played from a first-person perspective and requires a PlayStation VR2 headset for its virtual reality presentation. The game follows a former Shadow Carja man called Ryas, who is experienced in archery, climbing and crafting, skills which the player has to use to survive through the game. Throughout the game, the player will encounter several machines introduced in previous titles such as the giraffe-like Tallneck and the tyrannosaurus-like Thunderjaw. An additional mode outside the main campaign is River Ride, which allows the player to passively explore the game world. Synopsis. Characters and premise. Horizon Call of the Mountain is set in a post-apocalyptic United States, overrun by mechanical life forms called the Machines. The game's events run concurrently to the main, Guerrilla Games-developed titles that follow Aloy's journey. Much of the game's events are set in the Sundom, the territory of the Carja tribe that were introduced in 2017's Horizon Zero Dawn. The main protagonist is Ryas, a former Shadow Carja member in a quest to redeem himself. The game will feature several new and returning characters from the Horizon series, including Aloy. Horizon Call of the Mountain is an upcoming 2023 virtual reality action-adventure video game developed by Guerrilla Games and Firesprite and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment for the PlayStation 5's PlayStation VR2 headset. It is part of the Horizon series, set concurrently to 2017's Horizon Zero Dawn. Set in a post-apocalyptic landscape besieged by machine life forms, Horizon Call of the Mountain follows Ryas, a former member of the Shadow Carja who seeks redemption by uncovering a new threat looming over his former home. The narrative features both new and previously established characters, including series protagonist Aloy. Gameplay, presented from first-person perspective and requiring a PlayStation VR2 virtual reality headset, emphasizes Ryas' archery and climbing abilities. Players can use a bow to fight numerous machines previously introduced in earlier titles, and utilize climbing and platforming to traverse the game's landscapes. An additional mode, River Ride, allows the player to passively explore the game world. Development is handled by Horizon creator Guerrilla Games and fellow PlayStation Studios entity Firesprite, which possessed experience in virtual reality titles. Call of the Mountain is the first title announced to be developed by the latter since Firesprite's acquisition by Sony in September 2021. The game was officially announced in January 2022, while additional details on the story and gameplay were shown in June later that year. In November 2022, it was announced to be a launch title for the PlayStation VR2. Horizon Call of the Mountain is developed in collaboration between Horizon creator Guerrilla Games and Firesprite, who previously developed first-person shooter The Persistence for virtual reality and was acquired by Sony in September 2021. Firesprite's Alex Barnes, who previously worked as game designer on the studio's previous virtual reality game The Persistence, serves as game director. Firesprite originally promoted the title in its job listing, though its connection to the Horizon wasn't revealed at the time. On February 6, 2023, Guerrilla announced that Horizon Call of the Mountain went gold. Release. Horizon Call of the Mountain was first teased by Guerrilla Games studio director Jan-Bart van Beek at Sony Group's SEC 2022 presentation on January 5, 2022, which included a short visual teaser of the title and Firesprite's involvement. A second trailer was shown at Sony's State of Play presentation on June 10, 2022, which revealed the premise and depicted several gameplay mechanics. Reception. Pre-release. In a preview for Horizon Call of the Mountain, Polygon's Matt Leone as one of the most beautiful games he's seen in VR, heavily praising the visuals and various graphical effects. Eurogamer's Ian Higdon shared similar thoughts, believing Call of the Mountain was the most technically impressive title presented for the PlayStation VR2 during his time experiencing the hardware, with an intoxicating attention to detail. Higdon was largely positive about the combat, but suspected of it being too on rails for veteran VR players. GameSpot's Tamoor Hussain likened his introduction to the game to the 1993 Jurassic Park movie in its awe-inspiring usage of new technology, and noted that the game's visual fidelity blurred the usual graphical gap between traditional and virtual reality titles.